Okay, so basically I have a few theories why I think I probably don't like horror games that much. Number one, as a kid, I watched the horror movie Scream. I know. And while I was watching it and kind of enjoying it, someone burst through my bedroom door in a full Scream outfit with a knife, which led to me pissing my pants. Number two, I have an anxiety disorder, which I take medication for, and I kind of guess the horror isn't great for that. Number three, I'm a big puss. So here are my top 5 horror games I've actually managed to play. Hello everyone, Lexitan Gaming here, you there, and whoa, okay, Lexitan Gaming here, you there, and today it's my top 5 horror games, and to be honest, I'm being a little bit vulnerable with you all, because horror in general just ain't my cup of tea. I gave you my reasons why earlier, but yeah, it's a lot of it's to do with the build-up for me. The gore and the blood and all that doesn't really bother me at all. It's the atmosphere of horrors, and of course, the jump scares. I hate the jump scares. So let's get into it, I guess. Just quickly before we go to number 5, please give me a subscribe, hit the like. It's completely free and it would help me out immensely. And we are starting out the list strong with Until Dawn. Yes, I know it's technically at the bottom of the list at number 5, but I have played a couple of other horrors briefly, and at least it's beaten those ones out. Tell you what, I was shocked to see Socially Awkward Freddie Mercury make an appearance. I can say that I'm socially awkward as well. I actually get this rash down my face. Anyway, this one absolutely terrified me. It's about a group of 8 kids, well, older teens, I guess, that go to their friend's cabin or house in the mountains, and the whole game is based around just surviving that one night. Yep, the whole game, it's not a very long game, but the whole game is based around that one night. And here's the kicker, you were all there the year before. 2 other friends actually went missing that night. Yeah, and you've decided to come back a year later. No one's seen them since. Why the hell? Why would you go back? Up a mountain, pitch black. Ugh, not a hope in hell. I wouldn't even go. I wouldn't even go the first year. So yeah, of course, it's all about survival, but it's also a game that uses quick time events. And unlike some games, these choices actually matter. They can literally define who may or may not be killed off. And yeah, literally once they're gone, they're gone. I definitely made a few errors during this game, but I tried my best to keep everyone alive. Storyline though was extremely gripping, and you really need to know what's going to come next. I'm not going to like spoil it, you know, just in case, because if you're like me, I play a lot of these games a long time after they've come out. Time, people. We don't have the time. So on this channel, I will try my best not to give any kind of spoilers. I'll try my best. But the main enemies you encounter, woof. It's a great game with an amazing story, full of twists, and yeah, I would never play it again. And I'll just put it in here because while I did play a large chunk of the game, my girlfriend did end up finishing it for me. My girlfriend did end up finishing it for me. I just didn't want to play it anymore, you know? It's one of her favourites. Anyway, so I was doing her a favour, really. Alan Wake 2. On the backlog list still, but what I've played already has been nothing short of brilliant. I've even had a few people let me know that you can kind of tone down all the scary stuff, all the jump scares, all that crap in the settings. I wish I knew that sooner, but I will be going back to it for sure because it is that good. Now, I didn't play the first game. Shocking, I know. But from what I gathered from this one, I didn't really need to anyway. I did look up like a quick little YouTube video. I say quick, it's probably like an hour long, but it wasn't really required because they do kind of fill you in. So that's a bonus. Alan Wake, who you play half the game as, is a story writer, and you're kind of like stuck in one of his stories. I'm not gonna lie, I don't 100% understand it yet. I've got like a quarter to go through, so I definitely will finish it. But like I said, you play as him for half the game, and to be honest, my favourite part is playing as the other character, Saga, who is an FBI agent. God, it's hard to talk about this game without spoiling it at all, but basically you have 2 playable characters, as I said, Alan and Saga. In Alan's part, you've been stuck since the last game, trying to write your way out of a supernatural dimension called the Dark Place. Yeah. While Saga's part is investigating ritualistic murders believed to have been done by some kind of cult in Bright Falls, alongside her partner, Alex Casey. That's it for the story, okay? But yeah, countless times where I had to literally set the controller down and... Want to know the interesting part of this? Well, I say interesting, it's more idiotic now that I think about it. I actually had no clue that this was a horror game. Yeah, I'm meant to be this big gamer that knows everything about every game that comes out, blah, 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 blah. I'm not. And I don't, by the way. I heard so much good things about this game. I wanted to stay away from everything, to be honest with you. I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't watch any kind of gameplay. I literally went in completely blind. And I obviously waited for the physical release, so I'd seen all these stellar reviews and I just couldn't wait to play the game. And like I said, I'd missed the first one completely. Like, I'd heard of it, but not anywhere near as much as this one. So yeah, about an hour in, after being amongst this eerie atmosphere and jumping up my skin a few times, I actually looked into it a little bit and I felt like an absolute melon. And it was too late by then because I was already hooked on the story, so... But I love it. I absolutely love it, and I will be finishing it. Just need to turn those settings down. Another game where you play as two characters, but this one's just a little bit different. It's The Last of Us Part 2. Big game, this. Well, in the sense of how much fucking money it brought in. Like, Jesus, how many remasters, remakes, reimaginationings can one series have, man? But it must mean they're selling. The Last of Us Part 2 takes place a few years after the end of the first one, and again, it's so hard talking about these without spoiling the story. So it's good. It's a good game. Good storytelling. Personally, I'd say amazing, but that's probably controversial. But that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut now and then. You go through this game as part Ellie and part Abby. Ellie's approach is definitely a bit more tactical. You got a little bit sneakier, especially as she has her pregnant girlfriend with her through a lot of it.
I'm gonna be a dad.
No, we don't talk about that. Look, Season 1 was amazing and mainly stayed true to the original game. Season 2 was the absolute drizzling hits. I have nothing more to say on the topic and never will. Thank you. You, bye. Anyway, so that was Ellie's approach, and Abby's approach was more, well, she was a brute. She literally looks like she could chin John Jones and outdo Arnie in an overhead press.
Wow.
Genuine. So yeah, obviously these two characters' playstyles differ entirely, which I love. To me, the second game wrapped up the story nicely, and so much happened in it. Plenty of shocking moments and heartbreak to cement it as one of the best survival horror games of all time. In my opinion. The guy who doesn't really play horrors. And I know she's gonna watch. Look, yeah, my girlfriend, she helped me through this one a bit, but I played the game. Okay, I played it this time. I finished it myself. She just helped me through it a bit, that's all. That's all. Now, coming in at number 2, of course, Resident Evil had to make the list. And yeah, it might be the only one I've played so far, but it is still very deserving. Let's go to Raccoon City, to Resident Evil 4. Or at least the way I played the remake on the PS5. And it was just the right amount of horror and action for me. I love the detailed environments, the obvious dark tone. Look, just everything about this game was chef's kiss. Oh. You play as Special Agent Leon Kennedy. Just a badass in every sense of the word. Bloke just doesn't care, like. Just isn't fazed by anything, and he also just comes out with some cheesy and funny one-liners. So as you're a special agent, you're given a mission to, of course, rescue the president's daughter. Her name is Ashley, and she's stuck in Raccoon City. And when you get there, you realise the residents of this city, well, they're gone, basically. They're being controlled, turned into a cult, by mind-controlling parasites. So yeah, basically zombies. But different too, because they haven't technically died yet. The story as you go through this city, you know, beat all the enemies to find her, and then you got to get out. I really enjoyed this one because if I'm being honest, there weren't really that many scary moments. Okay, yeah, that part had me and the missus actually screaming. And that part. But it wasn't through the whole thing, is what I'm trying to say. The story was strong, the gameplay was spot on, and the characters throughout really helped immersing yourself in this world. It was one that we could not stop playing. And I'm saying all these good things, and you gotta remember, this came out on the GameCube originally, then went to PS2, the Wii, PS4, now the remake. So yeah, it took me a while, but now I can finally say I've played Resident Evil 4 and loved every second of it. Almost every second. Now, before my number one, I want to hear from you. What is your top 5 horror games, or maybe just your favourite horror game? Let me know in the comments. Let's discuss. I will respond to each and every one. Number 1. It had to be, and it probably always will be, The Last of Us. I talked about the second game earlier, but here is where the real meat and potatoes are. This game came out on the PS3 originally, and at the time I wasn't playing survival horror games. Okay, I've just kind of figured out that this was my first survival horror game. Anyway, I'd seen so many good reviews on it, and I was looking to see what people were saying about the scary impact, how scary it actually was. And to be fair, a lot of them were saying that it's not too bad. And after playing and loving Uncharted 2, seeing this was also made by Naughty Dog in the same kind of sense, you know what I mean? Third person, shooting, you know. I had to give it a go, and my god was I not ready. It was similar to Uncharted at points, but also like nothing I'd ever played before. The music alone gave me goosebumps, the characters, their story, everything they went through. It was just so gripping. Even though, oh yeah, some parts had me shaking like a shit dog, but I had to keep going. First time seeing or hearing clickers, yeah, it sent a shiver down my spine. But this game, the story, everything, like I just said, you just have to keep going. I mean, that is until I got stuck. Like halfway through. Can't remember exactly what point, to be honest, because it was, oh my god, it was like over 10 years ago. But yeah, I left it for a little while until a pal of mine who watches the videos, Dino Bai, actually wanted to borrow it. So obviously I ended up taking it to his house so he could play it, and then we chucked it in to kind of test it out, and we played the whole thing together. Not at once, obviously, but we got to see Joel and Ellie's bond build throughout, finding lost family and friends throughout the ruined world taken over by the infected, learning more about the world, you know, like the fireflies. It was nice that at the time where Call of Duty was the only thing me and my friends would play together, it was nice that we had that. We got to play this masterpiece and shit ourselves together. Oh, I guess I seem to have to play all of these games with other people. Cheers.